Hello, I want to redo the video I did in my car where you couldn't hear it too well. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I got asked this question again by a number of people. Will I start doing more informative and training YouTube videos on computer? The answer is yes and no. Let me clarify this. I'm an IT professional, I'll just say that, and I've been doing it for decades. I have over 40 years experience of doing it in both industrial, commercial, educational, in fact a university, helping with individuals in my own business, and I'm starting up my new business again, doing it, not really consulting, but training, programming, support, and all that other stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I get hired as a contractor to work in these fields, or actually I get hired as an employee in these areas, and then I get replaced by somebody, and I hate to say it this way, somebody who goes in and presents themselves as if they're an IT professional. I'm not saying that they're not. I don't know for sure, but some of them I do know for sure. Some I don't know for sure. But in December, I lost my job. In the previous December, I lost my job where I was operating as a contractor. The first one, they switched to a different contractor. The second one, the guy, I don't know how to say this. He wanted to hire somebody who he wanted to hire. Now, in many cases, I find out later that these are people that, in some cases, are a friend, a relative, or some novice who can kind of point out the computer in the room, which means they're more knowledgeable than the average person, or more knowledgeable than the average plant manager or facility manager who really doesn't know anything about computers. And in some cases, they themselves may not know much about computers, but happen to be in the position where they're managing the staff and individuals. And I don't want to insult everybody. I'm not trying to insult everybody, but I'm insulting people, and that's fine. I'll just let it go that way. Sorry, I'm cut some out from underneath my computer. But the problem is I get insulted, and I'm just expressing my point of view now, which is fine. I can do that. It's legal. But what I want to sit there and say is the fact that I'm not going to be doing too many YouTube videos providing information to what I call tubers. That's an insult. Meant as an insult. Is an insult. If you hate me for it, fine. I don't care. But I'm tired of being replaced in my jobs and my contracts by somebody who, like I basically say, can kind of point out the computer in the room. They might walk past a piece of factory equipment and not realize that in there is a IBM XT computer or an IBM Vista or running Windows 7, which is fine. They might not know that, which is fine with me. I don't care. But it does bother me when I'm training them how to fix it. When I'm the one who writes up the documentation or do the video online of how they can do their job better. My opinion is if you get hired to do the job, you probably ought to know it before you get in there. And I understand learning on the job is important, but some of these things are such basic skills that, sorry, I don't need to be teaching you those basic skills online for you to take over the job for me. And I think some other professionals in the IT field will agree with me on this, that there's a number of people out there who just act and present themselves as if they're geniuses in the computer world. Some may be truly geniuses, and to those I apologize. Immediately I apologize. But to those who present themselves as if they are, who really aren't, really can't, and have to look everything up on YouTube to find the answer or solution, or have to look it up online to find the answer or solution, and can't find it out from the basic documentation or don't already know it, hey, I'm not going to help you out there. And I kind of hope that the other professionals and even some of these companies go ahead and start supporting professionals who have this. I mean, I go out there and look up, for example, Zebra. I'll go up there and look up information and I'll download their documentation and I'll download their resources and I'll go through it to figure out how to get the printer to do the print job it's supposed to be doing. Okay. I won't go out there on YouTube unless it's, like I want to add a comma or something like that. Something simple, I might go out to YouTube. I don't expect YouTube to give me the answer, nor do I ask the person. And here's the irritation I have: I get asked by the people that have replaced me and replaced others, can you do a video on how to get this printer to stop printing this line right here in the middle of the printer? No. If you can't figure that out by now, why are you even in the business? Go look at the documentation Zebra or Brother or HP or whoever manufactures the printer gives you. Look at it. Figure it out. That way, next time it happens, you know how to do it. You don't have to go onto YouTube. Okay? Because my life has been that way. I've had to go look. I've had to go find. I don't mind online resources. I love online resources. But don't call me up, the guy you replace, to tell you how to do it online. Okay? Don't expect these other professionals in this field who lose their job to the tubers, the people who just look it up on YouTube and hopefully they find an answer, which many times they find the wrong answer. They don't know which one of the many answers they should use is the correct one for their task. And that's even worse. Well, I saw Joe did a video on replacing this piece in the printer and it worked just fine. True, that may have solved Joe's particular issue, might solve your specific issue, but what if it's the other issues, the other many issues that are out there with that printer that cause the same symptoms? See, I've done this for decades and decades, literally over 40 years. You can tell I'm old. An old man here, dark gray. Gray. And I worked with DOS before DOS even came out, actually. I worked on an IBM PC before the IBM PC came out. I worked on Macintosh before Macintosh came out. I kept up with the technology. I still keep up with the technology. I am learning and teaching myself Rust. I still am C++, C sharp. I keep up with a variety of languages. I've done award-winning web pages. I've kept up with this stuff. And some of the stuff I know is antiquated, but some of the stuff that's new isn't new. It's the old stuff just relabeled, presented in a slightly modified form. It's the same concept, process, and everything else. And my past experience with it helps me out to understand what they're doing with what they're doing that's new. Okay? So I'm going on a diatribe, and I don't mind that. Basically, I'm standing my soapbox, yelling, screaming. So please, you can ask me questions. That's fine and dandy, and I'll decide whether I want to present or not. But if I suspect you as being what I call a tuber, the IT guy who's picked out because he's the nephew or the cousin or the brother or the best friend of whoever in the factory, realizes that you can actually download an app on your phone and get it to work. Whoop-de-doo, I'm proud of you, congratulations. That's not all you need to know in order to do your job. And you know it. And you go out there on YouTube and you try to find all the answers to all the problems you're coming up with. I'm not helping you. I'm tired of it. I hope, again, other professionals in the IT field join my party. I'm not trying to show off on how smart I am. I know how smart I am. I don't need to go on YouTube to show you how smart I am. All right? Get it? Well, I'll be glad to help, and you can pay me money. You can just pay me money. You can, as a matter of fact, better yet, here, instead of taking my job, why don't you have the company you work for hire me to do the job you should be doing and be able to do it without having to go on to YouTube to find the answer to that easy question that you probably should already know. I'm mad, I'm angry, and it's because I've been replaced. I lose contracts, I lose jobs, not because of anything other than the fact that the person who's hiring or the person who's making the decision, which is typically somebody in the plant or facility management, not necessarily in IT management. I usually get patted on the back from the IT professionals in the organizations that, hey, wow, we got lucky getting this guy. Yeah, you did. Let me be honest, you did. Who else you going to get with my experience, knowledge, and broad background with programming, hardware, software, operating systems, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, Linux, Unix. I even worked with CPM, okay, and did some coding for the CPM and other stuff like that. I've done assembly language on various processors, by the way. Well, anyhow, enough of that. Again, I'm not going to be doing YouTube videos that give the supposed IT professional what I call a tuber. I call them a tuber because they're like a potato that comes out of the ground. They're nothing till you do something with them, cook them or make them into French fries. And that's the point, is that I don't need to be teaching you how to do Rust. I don't need to be teaching you how to do C. I don't need to be teaching you how to do Python. Yes, I've been asked to do that. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not going to. I will not continue on with my fourth language either. I'm stopping there because that's typically for an IT professional who has to write in the fourth language. Grab the book. That's where I was getting it from. Grab the book. That's where I learned from. The book. Go get the book. You can download the book, learn it, read it. If you don't understand it, I'm not explaining it to you. I understand. And there's the difference. I'm like that joke they talk about the Ford. And maybe you might not even know Ford, who did the Ford Motor Car Model A or whatever it is, Model T, whatever it is. And that he called in his professional guy and paid him, I don't know how many thousands of dollars to come in here, and he whacked the spot with a hammer and knew exactly how to fix the machine that was making his cars. Well, that's the whole point. I'm one of these hammer guys that know where to hit exactly with how much force on what to get it working. I've been there. I've done it. And there's other IT professionals out there. I'm applauding all of you. I think you're great. If you need help and support, let me know. I probably don't need to help and support you. As a matter of fact, I probably could learn something from you. But I keep getting replaced by some of these new hotshots fresh out of college who think they know CSS backwards and forwards, or HTML, or XML, or any of those other variations, and then we're going to write the world's greatest web page. Well, okay, good. Go ahead and do it. Good for you. If you need to look it up on YouTube or need to look it up on the web, go ahead. And if you can do it, you can do it. But I'm not going to help you out. Sorry, just not going to help you out. So if you want to ask me about teaching a particular language or cover a particular subject or something like that, and I feel as though it's good for a general person who I bump into daily who's trying to do something on their computer, if you want a secret, I'll be glad to help the general person with the secrets. I'll be able to try to help that general person who's needing to do something, who would go to one of these, and I'm going to say young, but typically they are young, go to one of these limited knowledge IT professionals to ask them how to do it, who typically gives them the wrong answer, by the way. I'll be glad to help that average person out. Okay, if it happens to help out the IT professional of which I am criticizing now, fine. I'm not trying to help them. I don't want to help them. I don't like helping them. I'm not going to help them unless they pay me money and call me. Fine and dandy, but then that's between me and you, and it's money. But stop asking me. If you want to ask me, fine. If you're an average person, fine. I may do a video on some particular issue of fourth if you get in it for some reason, or on Rust, or on C, or on whatever. And typically those are not the people who are going to ask me those questions. Or if you have a hardware issue or want to know how to get into Task Manager to stop something that looks like it's a virus on your computer or something like that, go ahead. You can go ahead and text me or ask me. It's fine. And yeah, I'm going here for a long time, but I'm really irritated with this. I keep losing my jobs to these novices. And I don't mind novices if they're willing to learn. I don't mind these novices who are putting in the effort and the time to become knowledgeable, become experts or whatever else like that, that's great. I love you guys. You're great and wonderful, but it's the one who's not putting in any effort, thinks they can go look it up on YouTube, and they get the job and they get hired by their relative or the plant manager who's their uncle or best friend's brother, something like that. Uh, Good. You got the job. Have fun with it. Don't call me unless you're willing to pay me. All right, so there's my point. I'm not going to be doing any more videos of such. I might be doing some videos on old computers. That's fine. If you want to know about your Apple II, your 2C, your TRS-80, your Model 3 or Model 4, or even some of the older computers recently that are running Vista or XP or Windows 7 even. I'll be glad to talk to you about how to upgrade memory in there if you're an average user. I can show you that kind of stuff. I'd be glad to, but I'm not trying to help those people who replace me and who replace the other IT professionals because they just happen to be lucky and insinuate that they know something forward and backwards when in truth they do not, and I get replaced in a factory or workplace with some tuber. All right, so that's my new terminology, tubers. If you are one of those IT claiming to be professionals, go ahead and text me or call me or whatever. I'll see if I want to do a video on it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to help you out when you take things away from me and you take it away from other professional IT people, those who are truly good at it, who work hard at it, who stay up to date on it, etc. So I've done it. I've said it over and over again here. I've repeated myself a dozen times. I hope I get some thumbs up from my fellow IT people, but I'm not going to go out there and tell you how to good example. I love watching these videos on how to fix these flat screen TVs because I need to fix my own flat screen TVs. And I will also fix my family and friends' flat screen TVs sometime. But I don't claim myself to be God's gift to flat screen TV repairman and open up my shingle outside saying, hey, I'm going to do all flat screen repairs and that kind of stuff, And that's not my full-time job or business. I'm doing it because I can. I've done it. I may watch a YouTube video on a particular case where I've befuddled with it. Okay, that's fine and dandy. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. But I'm not going into business to compete against him, to take these professionals out of their jobs. I don't claim it. If somebody in town is doing it, fine. I'll let them do it. I don't want to take business from somebody else. So don't take it from me. Just because you can look it up on YouTube, don't take it from me. Don't take it from other professionals. All right, so I've done it. I've said it. I'm going to stop now, and I hope this gets across. I've said this over and over in this video, and I'm meaning to say it over and over because I'm very tired of having to deal with it in my life. I've dealt with it for decades. Many of these people, I've had to undo their work. I've had to fix their work. I've had people who've taken my jobs that I've done in factories and in educational institutions who called me up, sit there and say, we're having problems with this, can you help me? And I sat there and said, that's why I was hired in the first place. I hope that's why I was being kept there. They don't want anybody to work on it, otherwise they would have kept me to work on it. You are not the person I'm going to help. Get it? Okay. Now, average people, please call me, contact me if you want to see a video on something particular dealing with computers. I'll be glad to share my knowledge and experience if it doesn't go into something that you really should see a IT professional about and with. And there you go. For example, I did not show you how to write the program on the spreadsheet. I don't mind telling IT novices that maybe they need to look into taking some of these spreadsheets that cause computers to lock up and bomb and maybe perhaps get it into a programming language or compiled into something that'll actually use less memory and run more efficient and let everything else run better. I don't mind giving them that information, and that's really good also for these factories and for the individual users and everybody else who are having problems. That's a nice solution, but you got to have enough common sense and knowledge to know that that may actually be the solution you need to look for. Now, I'm not telling the person how to do it. I know how to do it. I've done it. I'm doing it. They're not. That's fine. All right. So that's enough of that. Again, I said I'd quit, but I'm still going because it irritates me. I've dealt with this for, again, like I said, decades. You just get to hear it. You can leave now. Bye.